Now, I would like to welcome back to the program, because he has been on here before, a gentleman that has been on so many different programs, helping out people looking better and feeling better about themselves. Carson Kressley, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I forget what we were talking about last time, but this time you've got this book, and I've just had a chance to peruse through it a little bit here. Does this book make my butt look big?
Not at all.
Well, thank you very much. I've never worried about my butt so much. That's not my issue. And don't most people have some part of their body that they worry about or aren't real happy with?
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole section in the book about like body confidence, and I think, especially for women, I think they're much harder on themselves. Everybody has something that they're not really like super excited about. But then everybody also has that thing that's, really great. And it's about finding those things that you want to maximize and finding those things that you want to minimize. And I talk about that a lot in the book, like dressing for your body type and how to cover up this flaw and how to, make the most of your good stuff and minimize the bad stuff. And it can really affect your confidence level. And when you learn how to master that, you can feel great in your clothing every day.
When we are maximizing or minimizing the different body parts that we have, is that our perception of what they are, good or bad, or is that some input from outside sources?
Usually it comes from, most of the time, I did a show for Lifetime called How to Look Good Naked, and it was all about, body issues. And most of the time, we're more critical of ourselves than other people are. So it's generally things that we don't like about ourselves. But those are the things that really affect your confidence levels. So if you don't like it, I offer solutions on how you can deal with it and, make it work.
In the book that I have in front of me here, you've got 7 style uniform staples. Is this pretty much set for any lady?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer that, fashion is so incredibly personal, and the book is meant to be a guide to get you from point A to point B to find your personal style and find the look that makes you feel most amazing. But there are certain basics that everybody should have. Great denim, a great white blouse, a little black dress, all those things. Those are the meat and potatoes of your wardrobe. And then the accessories are the fun stuff. They're the salt and pepper. They're the seasoning. They're the ones that make it you and make it sing. And those are the ones that, are really your personal touches that make it all about you.
Now, when a lady has one of these staples and she really likes it and gets all kinds of compliments and she feels confident about herself wearing that, at what point, though, and how does she give it up if it's been around too long?
I mean, if it's a great classic, like a white blouse or a great pair of jeans, those are things that you can always wear. They're perennial. They're kind of like evergreen classics that everybody should have. And one of the tips I have in the book, like if you find something that, you feel amazing in and it's a real basic, like a pair of jeans, buy a couple pairs because they're hard to find. So when you find that kind of, perfect combination, make sure you have a backup and load up on that. It's all about like keeping it fresh with great accessories, changing up a blazer on top of things, changing up the shoe, adding a scarf, doing a different bag. You'd be amazed how many, great looks can come out of one great classic.
You've been on a lot of different programs, Oprah, Good Morning America, Kelly and Michael, and Bethany, Wendy Williams show and stuff like that. Where does your experience and your training that people trust you on making these decisions come from?
Oh, I've always been a little bit of a fashionista, and I was, I've always been a stylist. Even when I was in the 6th grade, I was like, Mom, you're not going to wear that, are you? And she's like, oh, okay, no, thanks. So I've had an eye for it, and I feel like I got a great education working for Ralph Lauren. He's always does things that are in great taste. But part of it is also just being a people person and a cheerleader and giving people confidence and telling people to try different things. And even if it doesn't always work, it's a process, and you eventually get there. And that's, I just like to inspire people and, give them the advice and get them to a spot where they can do it on their own and they can feel, a little bit better. Even if you feel 10% better about your look or your body, that's a great improvement. And it's the start of, getting better all the time. So That's what I'm a cheerleader.
Carson Kressley, the cheerleader. Well, the book, does this book make my butt look big? In it, I think you also address the issue of something my wife is always challenged by. Of course, she loves great fashion, but she hates going shopping. She just hates going shopping. And you've got, was it that chapter 4? Is that what that is addressing, being a bargainista?
Being a bargainista, I mean, I got out of school, moved to New York, and realized, like, oh my gosh, I have no money for anything because my rent is like the price of a Kia Sophia every month. What am I going to do? So I had to learn how to be a bargainista, and sometimes that keeps you on your toes, and you come up with the best looks because you've really had to be creative. So there are great tips in there about shopping at outlet malls, finding discounts online, learning how to make friends with your favorite sales associates at your favorite stores, so they send you emails about when there's going to be an amazing sale. It takes a little bit of legwork, but if you have a little bit of time, you can save a lot of money by using some of those resources that I talk about in the book, instead of just going to a department store and plunking down full retail.
Coming up here in a couple of months, January, you're going to be on the NBC Celebrity Apprentice. How was that experience?
I am. I can't really talk about there's a gag order saying that I can't talk about anything that happened on the show, but I can tell you it comes out January 2nd. The new host is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's fantastic. And he's such a successful entrepreneur and businessman. I didn't realize that. And I learned how to do a great Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation on the show. And
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Other than that, you're going to have to watch. But it's the cast is Boy George and some Real Housewives of Atlanta and Beverly Hills and some famous football players. And it's anytime you put such an odd group of people together, there's some really interesting chemistry.
That's my perfect kind of party. Well, one last question here. You could probably talk about your experience when you were on Dancing with the Stars. Do you still have the moves?
Oh, I've got the moves like Jagger, of course. And I also still have the bunions.
Ah, there you go.
But it was a great experience, and I watch every season, and I'm excited. I'm going to go back to the ballroom next Monday and cheer on some of my favorites this season, like Tara Joel and Maureen McCormick and people like that. It's super fun. I love watching.
It is a good show. Listen, Carson, it's a pleasure talking to you again on the program. I look forward to the next time we get this experience. The book is called Does This Book Make My Butt Look Big? And thank you for joining us and sharing your insight, all right?
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye, Carson.
Bye.